on Dancing with the Stars, he was my dark horse. 1-800-VOTE-411. Vote at 7 p.m.
He's doing great right now, as long as he keeps his tongue in his mouth.
Well, wait, I read in USA Today that he didn't have a shot. I go, wait a minute, the guy used to teach dancing. It's Mark Cuban. How you doing, Mark?
Hey, I'm doing great, guys. How y'all doing?
Well, I read the odds, and they had you like some astronomical number. I go, oh, hold on. On contrary, the man used to teach disco dancing, right?
Well, yeah, but that was 30 years ago.
Yeah, that was, and I understand you had a hip replacement, right?
Yeah, 7 weeks before we started, I had my left hip replaced, and it hasn't been too much of a problem until tonight, man. This week we're doing the jive, and that you got to bounce up and down, you got to do the running man, you got to do all this stuff that is just wearing me out. But you know what? I'm a gamer, and I got great, hot, beautiful teachers, so we're going to put it out there.
Oh man, are they hot? By the way, Mark, let me ask you a question. Do you look at Wayne Newton and go, you won again? I mean, how about Wayne Newton with this fan base voting for him, huh?
I know, it's crazy. That's why I need everybody in Chicagoland to pull out the vote for me, man. 1-800-VOTE-411-MARK, or you can go to abc.com, register, and vote, because Wayne's a great guy, but, I mean, he's struggling out there, and he'll tell you he's struggling, but his fans keep him on. So, I'm not the entertainer. I'm not the athlete, so I need all the help I can.
Oh, some people would say you're an entertainer. Hey, by the way.
Yeah, I hear you.
You're an entertainer. By the way, I talked to Jerry Reinsdorf not too long ago. And he said that basically if you wanted to buy the Cubs, you'd have no shot because the last time you tried to get into the NBA, there was one vote against you. Do you remember who voted against you 29-1?
Yeah, I don't know that it was 29-1. It came across the official wire differently, but I get along great with the Bulls. If you talk to Steve Schoenwald and all the folks who run the Bulls and Jerry's son who comes to the meetings, I get along great with all those guys. And I've talked to Jerry. I think Jerry's a great guy, and we'll see. I can't really speculate on what might happen, but I'm going to give it my best shot, and they know it, and we'll see what happens.
So you're automatically in this thing until the end against other people. Who knows how many groups there are, but you're saying to yourself, you know what, this is a great opportunity for me to do this.
Oh, yeah, it is a great opportunity. In all candor, it really comes down to what they put into the actual deal, what assets are in the actual deal. And so they haven't really published that yet. Nobody really knows. And so once I get that information, then I'll be able to make a final decision. But, if they put everything that you would think they put in, the normal stuff for a team, then hell yeah, I want it. Yeah,
so you want the Cubs. If you can get them, you would love the Chicago Cubs.
Oh, yeah, I've said that time and time again, and everybody thinks I'm going to be on the sidelines in the dugout jumping up and down. That's not where I'll be.
Well,
just like in the Mavs games, I'll sit sideline. Sometimes I'll sit up in the very top row, and when I went to the Cubbies game the other night, a couple weeks ago, I sat on our bleachers, and I'll have a seat marked out for me and my friends, and we'll be out in the right field bleachers. Well, that's the best place to watch.
There's some pettiness going on because when you were at the ball game in the right field bleachers, Comcast Sportsnet, which is owned by the teams in this town, the Blackhawks, the Cubs, the Sox, they were told not to show you in the right field bleachers.
And you know what? I was okay with that because I wasn't doing it to try to, hey, look at me, I'm at a Cubs game. I was there to have fun at the game. It wasn't about press. It wasn't about PR. It was just about going to see the Cubbies. My best friend in the world, my college roommate lives in Chicago, and I've gone to games with him before, and we've hung out. We've gone to Murphy's and Wrigleyville and gone to games and had a great time. And so I didn't care if they put me on TV. Actually, it's probably better they didn't because they'd probably show me, knowing the way the media treats me, they'd show me with me shoveling down a beer and a hot dog down my throat, and there'd be some nasty picture somewhere. So it was actually good, and I had no problem with it.
There were some awesome pictures of, females around you. I found that very fascinating, my friend.
Well, that was my dance partner. That was my dance partner, Kim, who we took to her first baseball game. And so, it was cool. We got to practice at a studio. I got to meet Jerry Springer, talk to him, go to a Cubbies game, go to Murphy's, get a nice, down a few brews. And I had a great time. And that's what owning the Cubbies is going to be about if it happens. It's a great sports town. It's a great franchise with a storied history. There's so many opportunities there. And, it's just a unique opportunity. If I get the chance, I can't pass it by.
Well, Reinsdorf basically has said, you know what, I didn't vote for him for the NBA, and I won't vote for him when it comes to MLB, but he is the the fourth most powerful man in all sports, right? Right behind some commissioners. So you think that you have to talk to him? I mean,
and I will. And you know what? I have no problem talking to Jerry. I think he's a great guy.
He is a great guy.
And maybe over the 7 years that I've owned the Mavs, his opinion may or may not have changed. I know how the people who work for him feel about me and what I've contributed to the NBA. And, at the end of the day, there are a lot of MLB owners that have contacted me that I think will be supportive of me. And, we'll see what happens. There's no assurances, and it's still, the thing about it is the process is still early on. I can't really, there's no details to get into, and if there were, I couldn't get into them.
Well, first of all, Peter Uberoff saying, and Mark Cuban right here, owner of the Dallas Mavericks, amongst other things, HDTV, that stuff you watch, that was all him.
HDNet, HDNet, yep.
I got to tell you, talking about this and seeing this transpire, you also got the Dallas Mavericks, okay? I guess you got over it, you said, after a couple six-packs, right, them getting knocked out in the first round.
Well, yeah, the first round wasn't nearly as tough as the finals. The finals, you're so close. It's a difference. Like for the Cubbies, it was painful losing and being swept this week. That's never good, and that never feels good. But if you had gone to the World Series, it's a lot worse because you got so close and you were right there. And for the Mavs, we were up 2-0. We had a chance really to just go to Miami and win a couple games and finish it out, and we didn't do it, and that really hurt. But getting swept last year or getting beat last year against Golden State was certainly not fun, but wasn't nearly as bad as losing in the finals. But, the one thing about the Mavs, and one thing I've learned in almost 8 years of owning the team, is that the key thing is what's your leadership like and what's the chemistry in the locker room like. And if you've got good, strong people and you've got a good, strong locker room, then you can bounce back for those things. And I know the Mavs are going to be better this year if we stay healthy. And, the Cubs have a chance to come back stronger because it was a great learning experience.
Well, people think that you're going to be bringing people to, like if you owned the Cubs, that you'd bring some high-priced free agents. And, well, we got that. It hasn't worked out. What would be your philosophy of running a team like the Cubs? Because you're seeing Arizona and Colorado, teams basically that done it from the grassroots, from their own organization, building the team. Would it be that way, or would you still go with the let's get the big hitters in here like they are?
It really depends. It really depends. Like when I got to the Mavs were a wasteland. No one wanted to come to Dallas. No one, we hadn't made the playoffs in 10 years, and people just looked at it as being a dumping ground. And I had to change all that very, very quickly. I had to change the culture of the organization. The coaches wanted to blow out the season, so we got a high draft pick. And I was like, no, we were 9-23 when I took over, and we finished the season 31-19, and we haven't won less than 50-some games since then. And so I really don't know if and when I could buy a baseball team. I'd have to go in and see what the culture like, see what the organization was like, see what the people were like and how strong they were and what their strengths were and what their weaknesses are, and just make a decision from there. But you can't go in with a preset mindset. Otherwise, you're just going to make a lot of mistakes. So, but what I am good at is going in and spending the time to analyze what's going on and, taking my experiences and try to turn them into a winner.
He's from